Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for some AlphaStar commentary. Today we are going to be having ourselves a good old TVT, Terran versus Terran, man versus man, mono on mono. And yeah, we have a Masters Terran today. I'm going to be trying to topple the Alpha Terran in the battle for dominance on the Starcraft 2 ladder. Our map today is going to be Kairos Junction for this TVT. And then we just have ourselves regular openings from these players so far, nothing out of the ordinary. AlphaStar has gone for a gas first, which is notable. Sometimes it goes for the, say, usual barracks first. But it's gone for a gas first in this TVT, and we'll see if it's just going to go for a Reaper expand, or if it'll go for that double gas. There's really no box to put AlphaStar in due to the multiple iterations of the AI. There's no, like, flagship to tell us which AI we're watching. We could be watching a cheesy AI, we could be watching a Banshee AI, oh, I don't know, just a derpy AI, a mass air AI, who knows? It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get when it comes to opening up one of the AlphaStar replays. And that's why I honestly enjoy continuously casting these. If it was the same AI in the same matchup every single match, I probably wouldn't have been able to keep casting these. But seeing as how there's a lot of variety in these, I will keep watching them. Now, we have ourselves build differentiation here. We have a Reaper off the back of a double gas for the Masters player, whereas AlphaStar is going for a command center. So the more economical play from AlphaStar, also the more risky play. Opening up with just one gas into a quick CC in TVT can be quite risky due to the commonness of Proxy Reaper, which we've even seen AlphaStar lose to once or twice. And then AlphaStar also just goes right into a Reaper, or right into a reactor. So if this was Proxy Reaper, AlphaStar would be in some trouble. Fortunately for the AI, it is not. Instead, it looks like it's going to be a different kind of proxy, potentially a proxy starport with a proxy liberator or Banshee. That is what the Masters player is getting up to, going into the Hellion Reaper Banshee or Hellion Reaper Liberator. This is a build I do quite a bit because it's great at pulling your opponent apart, as long as you do some micro to an extent. You'll usually trade quite well because it just throws your opponent into a state of disarray. Because there'll be Reapers and Hellions poking their front, a Banshee or a Liberator in their main base quite early on. And as long as you macro all right behind this push, it can be very strong. So I'm excited to see how this Master player is going to execute it. All the while, AlphaStar behind this is going to start making reactored Hellions off its reactor. And then just sitting back at home for now. If we do take a look, though, AlphaStar just making reactored Hellions isn't necessarily going to have an answer for something like a Liberator. As I say that, though, a Viking starts up for AlphaStar. Viking's quite good at dispatching Liberators. Also an odd supply depot placement for AlphaStar. The AI's like, I need a depot and I need it now. The Hellions are charging in for the Master player, though, going to try and catch AlphaStar off guard quickly, but his Hellions lined up a little bit against his opponent's unit, so I think he took a little bit too much damage. Gonna try and target down AlphaStar's. Yeah, tries to target down AlphaStar's Hellion, gets it, but in the end, the players trade out, and that is good for AlphaStar, removing supply from the equation. As, the Viking lands for AlphaStar. That's a bit of an alpha derp. It needs that Viking in the air to deal with this Liberator, as the Liberator's going to start shooting away on these SCVs, getting a good number of kills, a bad number of kills for AlphaStar. The question is, was that enough damage? Is the Liberator going to reposition? It looks like the answer will be yes. AlphaStar is going to raise that Viking up to deal with the Liberator, but that's going to be more kills getting done by the Liberator, picking off 11 in total. The Liberator's going to run away. Another Liberator's queued up for the Masters player, and a CC is on the high ground for the Masters player. So I will say, I think AlphaStar has effectively held this push. Its mining has been thrown into quite a state of disarray. SCVs need to be retransferred to the main base. We need to see AlphaStar just start hitting its stride again. This AI did seem to get messed up quite a bit by that Liberator, with landing the Viking being the main mistake that it made. Hellions are going to charge in for the Masters player, going to start cooking up some more of these SCVs. AlphaStar hadn't lost too many SCVs, or hadn't lost a critical amount of SCVs in the first push, but this push could be changing that as SCVs are picking off more, or Hellions are picking off more SCVs. The SCVs for AlphaStar ran away from the Liberator, but they didn't run far enough. This circle is just killing more and more SCVs, and AlphaStar is just getting played with this match. The proxy starport seems to be quite effective against this AI. The Liberator has killed all the SCVs. The main is now going to head towards the natural. The Vikings are going to lift up for AlphaStar, but then the Hellions dart in. They're going to try and secure a few more SCV kills, and at this point, every SCV is just massive because AlphaStar is on so few, and the damage, I'd say, has already been done by the Masters player. 30 SCVs to 10 is not a good number. The AI losing more and more units. The Cyclone will pop out to help deal with that final Hellion, but there's even another Liberator getting made back at the Masters player's side of the map. There is just decent production going on. He's got a third CC on the way because why not? Needs to drop a few mules, but I guess is scared of potential Banshees. I don't know. That's a habit I have as a Terran player, floating too much energy on my CCs, because I'm like, oh, there's going to be a Banshee, so I got to make sure I don't scat or drop a mule, and then you forget to drop more mules. So that can definitely happen in matchups with commonplace cloaked units. AlphaStar is at a decent army supply for now with these Hellions, with the Cyclone, with the Marines even, but the damage really has been done. Vikings are going to start to push away this Liberator, which is nice for AlphaStar, pushing that away. However, with the natural CC landed for the Masters player, this is looking quite tough for the AI in this one. I haven't seen AlphaStar get this dominated early on in quite a while. Now, if we do take a look, ladies and gentlemen, we will see that AlphaStar is at 21 workers to the 34 of the Masters player. And so let's try and hit 21 likes on this video, seeing as how that would be a sick goal to hit. And then, of course, if you enjoy these kind of AlphaStar videos, slap that subscribe button, as there is daily content on this channel. Enough of that, though, as we see AlphaStar starting to move out on the map with its Hellions and Cyclones, but this is going to be problematic for the AI, as there's siege tanks, there's an enemy Cyclone, Marines. Not a good position for AlphaStar, I feel. Cyclone going to lock on to the enemy Cyclone, potentially kill that off. Looks like that'll be a yes. So the enemy Cyclone's removed from the equation, which I guess is kind of nice, but AlphaStar bleeding off way too many units as this goes on. Gets a lock onto a Viking at least, which is nice, but then the Terran, the Masters player, going to just start unloading on top of these units, gets the Cyclone, forces AlphaStar into a full retreat. The supply isn't even that bad for AlphaStar at the minute. It's 22 to 35, which is within the realm of acceptability. And the AI, being the worker building machine it is, has almost caught up in workers, so there could be a chance for AlphaStar to actually come back in this game, which would be mental. It's producing units, it's got out siege tanks, a higher Viking count than its opponent. If AlphaStar comes back in this game, that would be nuts. Looks like the Viking gonna move, or the Liberator gonna move in for the Masters player, but the superior Viking count of AlphaStar is gonna do it good. Siege tank gets a nice shot off on the Masters player's Marines. These two Marines are gonna try and be heroes. The AI derping a little bit. Gonna run that Marine out. Viking is gonna try and pick off that Liberator, it would seem, trying to bait its opponent into those siege tanks. It looks like AlphaStar is shuffling its tanks around. The Viking count, though, is now starting to get a little bit concerning for AlphaStar. AlphaStar is getting some good siege tank shots off on its enemy's Marines, but it has ceased Viking production, and this means that the Masters player is going to have air control, and his Liberators will be able to punish AlphaStar. And I'm not sure I believe in AlphaStar's ability to deal with Liberators on top of its units. This could potentially force AlphaStar into a break situation, which it has to break its opponent. And I'm not sure if I see that happening. One siege tank gets picked off as every unit goes down. This is going to be, with every unit going down, this is going to be quite concerning for AlphaStar. The Masters player does seem to have the ability to close it out. There was a glimmer of hope for AlphaStar, and as the red player charges in, I mean, there's a chance that this is going to be held. Actually, it looks like it could be a hold. Can AlphaStar force this Terran player back to buy itself some room? Looks like the answer is no. Supply depots are now in range of the siege tank AlphaStar with a little group of supply depots a little too far forward. And while more units have been made for AlphaStar, it seems that this could be it. The AI is going to try and break the location, but I'm not sure there's enough for the blue Terran. Siege tanks still shelling away for the Masters players. Many SCVs have been picked off. The air control is still there, and Stim Marines pushing forward. I think we're going to be seeing AlphaStar fall. It was a good attempt at making a comeback happen, but in the end, yeah, just too much for the red Terran. AlphaStar half the supply, not dead yet, but soon to be dead, I feel. Vikings misrallied for AlphaStar, not going to do it any favors. Lands a Viking. The Viking dies instantly. Yeah, slow death for AlphaStar. We see it looks like it was trying some counter harassment, but a fourth base is on the way for the red Terran. AlphaStar is microing individual Marines against the siege tank, which is kind of cute, not giving up yet. The Masters player has had a bit of a dip in production, it would seem. But AlphaStar is just trickling out units and is going to be very tight pressed to break this location once the reinforcements show up. AlphaStar is refusing to die. And I mean, you got to give it to it, but with not having the air control, that's just no good. You need the air control. Looks like these Marines are going to try and maybe break this location. No, the Vikings in the sky for the master player. Too much. With the rest of these siege tanks showing up, I think AlphaStar is going to be toast, although I must say the Marine production is pretty good for AlphaStar right now. This Terran player trying to be fancy, the red Terran, actually just throws away 2 siege tanks on the high ground. That's not bad for AlphaStar. No, don't tell me. I was like so certain AlphaStar was dead. I mean, never count out this AI, apparently. A drop is going to happen in the main base of AlphaStar. That'll need to be reacted to. Marines are going to stim back to the main base to try and repel this. Looks like they will manage that. AlphaStar still constantly producing Marines, but we see the Masters player has got his production in order, starting to produce a good number of units. Supply starting to balloon up. AlphaStar eating siege tank shot after siege tank shot, it would seem, and just doesn't quite have the units to break this location. Vikings come forward, pick off some of the Masters players' Vikings, but it's not enough. AlphaStar is going to try and break this location, but the siege tanks are, well, obviously still siege for AlphaStar and aren't going to help dislodge these siege tanks. If AlphaStar could dislodge its opponent just once, I'd say there's a chance. And it's sure dragging this game out. Like, I will never die, says AlphaStar, but I think you're going to die, I say. SCV is going to surround that tank, actually kill it off, so the tanks are gone, but those SCVs get gobbled up by those Marines. AlphaStar simply doesn't have the units. Going to repel to its siege tanks, though, and actually get some good shots off. Like, oh my gosh, AlphaStar is a fighter. AlphaStar is a fighter indeed, not giving up, just doing its thing. SCVs get transferred. A decent army has been built up for AlphaStar, but there's still too much for the red Terran. And with AlphaStar not able to dislodge its opponent, we see the situation not getting any better. The red Terran player moving forward with his Vikings, slowly starting to siege up on his opponent's base. AlphaStar just can't do anything about this, though, due to the lack of air control. AlphaStar now half the supply of its opponent. A Liberator coming in. These Marines getting baited out by this siege tank. The Liberator doesn't really have an answer. The Marines are like, oh, what do we do? It's do or die. Looks like they may get the Liberator. The red Terran may be baited into this siege tank line, which it's gonna be close. The tanks for AlphaStar still kind of holding on, even fighting back on the high ground, picking off that siege tank. So AlphaStar is still not dead yet. This is one heck of a survival. Like, I mean, if this was a survival game, AlphaStar outlived all expectations, but the situation isn't getting any better. The Masters player is probably like, why won't you die? And then AlphaStar is like, well, behind this mask, there's an idea. And ideas are bulletproof. Unfortunately, AlphaStar's Marines are not tank-proof, so those boys are gonna die. Those Marines get picked off. AlphaStar still fighting the good fight. The tanks inch forward for the Masters player. Siege tank on the high ground for AlphaStar. SCV is being pulled once more. I think the AI is actually gonna clean up these tanks. It now has its own tank on the high ground, but there we go, with the Vikings landing for the Masters player. That should be it. That should be it. The slowest knockout ever, I must say. But in the end, the Masters player, off the back of his very, very good opening against AlphaStar, is able to take the match. Okay, so the Masters player actually able to take that match despite having to work on it very, very hard. He really was sweating trying to kill AlphaStar. It's like if you ever get a significant lead against a player way better than you, you're like, oh gosh, I hope I don't throw this one. And then I imagine that's how that Terran player was feeling. This game, we are back on Kairos Junction. We have got Alpha Protoss taking on Diamond Zerg. AlphaStar Protoss has shown us that it loves just making like a few adepts and just ruining Zerg's days. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we see that again. For now, the probe is going to move out for AlphaStar. Crossing the map. Looks like a gateway assimilator on the way. Normal Protoss opening, while the Zerg... We'll see if the Zerg's going to do something to maybe catch AlphaStar off guard, because I feel that if a Zerg doesn't catch AlphaStar off guard, not taking damage to the Adepts or Prism or DTs or even Oracle shenanigans of AlphaStar is so tough to do for a Zerg, as it'll just kill ya. It'll kill ya, I say. AlphaStar being a pain with his probe, just like, I'm gonna take your minerals. The drone just keeps getting messed up. But yeah, normal opening from the Zerg, normal opening from AlphaStar. Nexus is on the way, should be a Cyber Core soon. Soon, there it is. AlphaStar queuing a probe to this corner. Probably gonna build a pylon, or what was that for? Why did it just queue that probe that direction? Okay, now that's the question I have. Why there, AlphaStar? Why did it set its Nexus rally point there and then just like pull the probe back in? Was that so the timing would work out or something, or did a pro player that it watched like misclick, or is it just one of those things in which the AI picks up on a thing but doesn't actually know whether something's good or bad because it has a hard time mathing it out? Adept is on the way for AlphaStar, going to be chrono boosting that out. Probably the first of a few, at least, as the AI has just shown us that its Adept play is so good. There's that Robo on the way. This is AlphaStar's killer PvZ build. It just makes a few Adepts, pokes the Zerg, warps in a few Adepts, then brings in the DTs. And man, is it nasty. It is so, so nasty. A Stalker is on the way next, interestingly enough. I honestly expected another Adept. The Stalker, though, will help shut down Overlord Scouts. But based on the Robo before the Twilight Council, this is going to be like Prism shenanigans, I imagine. Adept is going to run into the natural of the Diamond player. Queen going to have to help deal with that. Looks like the Lings are not coming in to help, so that's actually one dead drone already. Probably the first of many. This Adept is battling the Queen. We'll try and target down another drone or two. Gets one more drone. Maybe three. If it gets three and then dies, that'll be worth it. Good save by the Diamond player, saving one of those drones. And oh, the Adept actually goes down. The Diamond player anticipating the shots, saving those drones. And oh, take a look at this. The Diamond player making a lot of Zerglings. AlphaStar is going to be going for its Prism shenanigans, but right now it's kind of building a bit of a botched wall there, I say. Like, this is not a pretty looking wall. Pylon in the wall is never a good thing. And the Diamond Zerg is actually just making a ton of Zerglings, has a Baneling nest, and is going to be flooding AlphaStar hard. If these units get lifted up into this Prism, it's going to be bad news bears for AlphaStar. Already opening with a Prism, with a Robo instead of a Stargate, and oh, AlphaStar is shooting its own Prism. That is not good, AlphaStar. Now it's shooting its own Adept. What are you doing, AlphaStar? And oh, the Lings are in. This could actually just be an easy win for the Diamond player, and I feel that's what it's gonna be. Like, AlphaStar is so dead here. I was just talking up its killer PvZ, but this is what I want to see. Punish AlphaStar for its builds. The Banelings are waddling in behind this, not that they're really needed, but they'll just blow everything up for good measure. Zealot holding on in that wall, but there we go. Baneling's now going to move towards the main base. It's going to be a probe explosion. The probes are running for AlphaStar, but the Banes get connections. That's dead probes right there. Looks like AlphaStar hasn't actually lost a critical amount of units yet. If this Immortal gets picked off, it will be bad news bears, though, for AlphaStar. Seeing as how no more units are getting made, the gateways are still active. Another Zealot getting warped on in. Oh my gosh, no, don't tell me AlphaStar is going to hold this. At first I was like, AlphaStar has the greatest PvZ in the world. Then I was like, now it's just getting punished. And now I'm back to, oh my gosh, is AlphaStar gonna hold this again somehow? Without a probe pull, looks like these Zealots will get overwhelmed. Another pylon is building to help complete the wall. Looks like AlphaStar using that prism to maximum efficiency, microing these Zealots. An Adept got warped in. She is going to be an easy target. They're warping in, and another Adept gets warped in. Don't tell me that AlphaStar is going to hold this. Another Immortal's on the way. This Adept is being microed, but oh, the Lings, there we go. They find another way in, and it looks like AlphaStar may actually lose this. What a roller coaster of a game, ladies and gentlemen. As I'm pretty sure AlphaStar's dead, as an Immortal isn't going to help against all these Lings. Another Zealot has been warped in, but that's not going to cut it. The income for AlphaStar is non-existent. This Immortal not going to cut it. And GG gets called as AlphaStar actually gets 2-0'd in a video. If you enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen, slap that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord, as we'll be announcing a viewer tournament soon. And then follow me on Twitter. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.